Oh, okay.
Good evening, and welcome to our coffee chat. Hi, Carol. How's it going?
Hey, girl, I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing wonderful. Can't complain. Can't complain. The weather is nice.
It
Even though I'm
is.
staying in the house, the weather is nice.
Well, hey, we've had some up and down. It's kind of been cold one day and hot the next. But we've had good weather still. Rainy, muggy, but it's been okay. It's been manageable.
Yeah, good. Well, we are excited to have you here today. As always, we enjoy this. I don't know whether y'all enjoy it as much as we do, but we have a fantastic time when we get together for these coffee chats. I mean, it is
Absolutely.
just amazing, just so much fun.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, I do look forward to our time together because it's fun for us. And like you said, I pray that it's been good content information for those that are listening because it we cover a lot of things in this little chat. We're chatting, but it's good chat.
Right. Well, tonight, Carol and I are talking about the highest mountain, the highest mountain. And we are utilizing the book. I told you y'all have to get this book. You could follow along. But, in our lifetimes, we all come upon many mountains. And when I say mountains, it's those things that just seem so big that we will not be able to get past them. Uh, it may be something that's small or average, or sometimes it's overwhelming, but we face those mountains and it's like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Am I going to throw in a towel? If am I going to try but give up? And I think it's important that you take one step at a time. And if you do that, I think you can either get over that mountain, get around that mountain, or go through that mountain. So tonight we are going to be talking about personal planning program that's in the book. And so we are just, excited to do that. But, most people are shutting down this time of year. It's the end of the year, so people are shutting down. And, life believes that you need everybody kind of say, well, 2020, new year coming. So I got to, put in this resolution. I got to do better. I got to do this. I got to do that. And so you're doing all of these things, but when you think about it, what are those? Do you have any long-term goals and short-term goals, major purchases? You want to work on your education, your self-improvement, your financial adjustments, whatever. But in Proverbs 29:18, it states, where there is no vision, the people perish. But we know that God is always on board, so we just got to get with the program. Good evening, Agnes. Thank you for tuning in. In a lifetime, each of us will come upon many mountains. Some of us may look at those mountains and just give up. Some of us will make an effort and then succumb to whatever, while others, and I think my sis here is one of them, will take one step at a time until she gets over it, gets around it, or goes through it. So tonight, we're going to assist you by providing some essential goal tips. Carol?
Absolutely, Deborah. I love that you said the mountain is sometimes high, but we have to look at that mountain as an opportunity for us to have something to focus on. But like you were just saying, we just have to decide, like setting goals, we have to make sure that we're taking one step at a time. I've learned that that is the best. What I think we've talked about that. What's the best way to eat an elephant? Just one bite at a time. And so that is so true. And like you're saying, that this is the end of the year, and sometimes we get we're so excited at Christmas time and all of the stuff that goes with Christmas time, and then we look forward to the New Year's, and then we begin to make resolutions and things like that. But I think we've heard this before. If we fail to plan, we plan to fail. So we have to know, yes, we're looking forward, but we want to look forward to things that we can do and have a plan and put that plan down. And yes, that mountain may look big, but you just take one step at a time. And so I've never been a mountain climber, but I look like they take one little step, chipping away at it one step at a time. So I'm looking forward to our conversation tonight, because we really have some things that we're going to try to offer as suggestions, because that's what we really need. Sometimes we need a little help from our friends to be able to help guide us in the right direction. So I hope tonight we'll have some things that will help everyone be able to begin to look forward to what they're going to do in the future, because 2023 is up on us.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody agrees.
Yep. Yep. All right.
So, well, we're going to get started with it, Deborah. And so, you say personal planning, and and in the back of the book, everybody should take an opportunity to look in the back of the book. And like you said, according to Proverbs, it says, where there's no vision, people will perish. But also it tells us that the Bible tells us that we have to write the vision down, right? And we have to write it down and make it plain. So you provided an opportunity for us to be able to write things down. So the first essential thing we're going to start out with is personal academic goals. But there's power in goal setting. We all know that goals are important. And what I like about goal setting is that they give us a purpose. They give us a roadmap in order for us to strive for something like that mountain, something to inspire us to become better. And so these goals should motivate us to turn our vision up, for our future on, and then look at the reality of it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is personal academic goals. Personal academic goals. And the first thing I think, Deborah, if you're going to set some academic goals, and I love how you put the word personal on here, because they're for me, they're for whoever writes them down. That is your personal goal. You have the ability to write it down. You have the ability to think big. You have the ability to write down short-term goals and where you want to go in the future, but they're your goals and they're personal to you. And I believe that you have the ability to make adjustments as well. So the first thing I'm going to suggest, you got to be a positive thinker. You got to think positive so you can stay focused. And so you write your goals down and think positive. When you think positive, I think it makes your life easier, and it makes it easy for you to focus on that particular goal. So short-term goals, it may mean for in academic, maybe you failed the test. And so the next time you're going to study a little bit differently so that you can pass that test. Maybe you made a C on the test and you want to upgrade it to an A. So you want to do things that's going to help you do that. You want to make sometimes we just want to make better grades because it's our goal. And there are short-term goals, there are realistic goals. You talk about the SMART goals in the book. But it may mean to just make a better grade in a particular subject. It even may mean you might need to set some goals on study habits. How are you studying? And I don't know about you, Deborah. I love this because I know in the Asian community, they would do like study groups, and get together with people that could help. They would help one another. And
Mhm.
so sometimes that may mean that you have to reach out and ask for some help, and get some other people who are thinking the same way or who's passing that subject, that be able to help you. We believe in somebody's assigned to help you. And so that could be short-term goals while you're in middle school and high school. But ultimately, if you put good plans in place, study habits, you want to go to college, then we know that you're going to be faced with the ACT test or the SAT test. You're going to be faced with filling out college applications, or you maybe just decide that you are going to get a job, but you are putting things in place. And each one of these build up on another, but I think they're all something that you can put in place for the future. That's what it's all about, making a roadmap for your success. I look at it like this, Deborah. I think I said maybe it's your GPS for school, for college, and your careers. And some people
Mhm.
may not ever go to college, but it's a trade school that you might want to go to. Or if you want to get that job and you want to be able to move up in that position, there are some things you're going to have to put in place. I think you have to know your strength and know your weaknesses. And I think we say this all the time: readers are leaders. So you got to be able to be a reader in order to be able to stretch yourself a little bit more and make sure you're a lifelong learner. But here's the last one I'm going to suggest. Time is, you can't waste time. Time is of the essence. As we say, when you get older, time is money. But I love what John Maxwell say. He said you can't manage time, you can't control time, but you can manage yourself. And we're all given the same amount of time, 24 hours in a day. So you have to learn how to manage yourself and be able to put these things in place. What kind of goals are you going to set academically? What kind of things are you putting in place short term? Passing the test, doing better in one subject, making a better grade, planning for SAT in college and those kind of things. So you have to be able to put things in place, and you have to have a checklist for yourself because they are your personal academic goals.
Great, thank you. Good evening to, I think I saw Deacon Holmes and Tony Levette. Thank y'all for tuning in. And your personal academic goals, yes, those are very important and key. And I know Tony, excuse me, can attest to that because her
Mm-hmm.
husband, I know he's very busy. He has a job and
Mm-hmm.
he has a family and grandkids, but right now he's working on his PhD. So I'm pretty sure that he didn't just jump up and say, yeah, let me go to school, but that he sat down and wrote it down and they talked about it and planned it out. So that's why
Absolutely.
it's key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got to write them down. I'm a firm believer.
All right. And if you're following along in the book, we are on page, what is that?
Page
101.
101. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so the second one is your personal career goals. Personal career goals. And answer this question: am I satisfied with the company and the position that I'm in? If you love the company, but you're ready to move up, or you want to go laterally, you want to go outside of that department, but stay where you are, you need to
Mm-hmm.
know that. You don't just jump up and say, well, I'm going to leave this job. Why are you leaving? Are you looking for more money? Are you looking for better benefits? Or you see other people leaving? Why are you leaving? This is your personal career
Mm-hmm.
goal. So you don't do things because other people are doing them. But again, excuse me, especially if you have a family, you sit down and you talk with them and you assess what is it that you need to do. So if you decide, I wouldn't mind staying in this company, but right now I'm not moving. I realize I'm not moving because, I started and I decided I wanted to graduate from high school. I wanted to get my AA degree, and it was a time I just had to start working. I could not, complete my bachelor's degree. I needed to go to work. But I know that there are skills still that I can learn that will help me to move up in the position that I want to move up, because the company is great. They have great benefits, but I just need more finances for my family. So what is it that I can do? Well, you have to assess, where am I? What do I need to do in order to move up? Is that learning new skills? You can do that. There are so many things that are online today. You can get some, you can even learn do foreign languages online, but it's anything that you want to learn, you can learn it online. So and then a lot of companies, they offer different workshops on the job that you can go during the day. So look at that database that they have. What are they offering? Is that something that's going to help you? Because you maybe you want to be in management, but a lot of the jobs will say, well, you have to have held a management position in order to be a manager. Well, how are you going to do that? I have to be a manager before I can be a manager. How am I going to do that?
Right.
You need to reach out to someone. Hey, I need help with this. I'm not, fully understanding how am I going to get that experience? Because you may find that you are a great leader at church. You are a great leader in some organizations you're in. They may take that into account, but you got to do some work. You can't just sit there and think all the answers are going to pop up. Do the work, and you would be surprised. So you can get a mentor. You may see someone in the department, and you find out, hey, oh yeah, I joined the company when I was 17. No, I don't have a degree. Well, how'd you get in management? Well, this is some things I did. I job shadowed some people. I'll be glad to mentor you if you like. Oh, well, that would be great. Or you can job shadow. You can ask to go to other departments or sit with someone in your own department to see what it is they do. But talk to your management. Sometimes we are so afraid that if we go to our managers and say, I'm not satisfied with where I am, that they're going to think that you want to leave. No, you explain yourself. I love this company. We have great benefits. And, but, I just, I'm not satisfied with where I am. I know that I can do so much more, but I need some help, guidance. Can you help me with that? Because that's what a manager's job is for. They should never want to hire someone that's going to be satisfied just being right here and staying right here. They should want to hire someone that's going to grow with the company. So, speak with them. And then on the other hand, if you are totally dissatisfied with that company, then find out what you need to do to move. But don't just jump up and quit your job. Don't do that. You're not.
That doesn't look good on the resume, huh?
I'm tired of this. I don't have to take this. I'm going to quit. No, you do things the right way.
Absolutely.
You need to have somewhere you can go. You need money. I mean, somebody just giving you some money. If not, you don't have this great savings. You're still going to need money. You don't know how long it will take you to get that job that you want. So what should you be doing? You should, take the time to save up some money, get your resume together, start learning those skills that you think will help you. Yes, Tony, thank you. Succession planning.
Oh, yeah.
Sit down and think about it. Work on that resume and get everything in line. Then when you think that your skills are up to par, you have some feelers out there, you've been throwing that resume around, or you've had a couple interviews, then and only then do you resign from your job. You do things decent and in order because you don't want to burn any bridges. Because you might get there to that new job and didn't know that they were getting ready to sell or do something, and they go out of business. If you left messy, I'm not want you to come back. But if
They're
you
not
were a
gonna
good employee and you
mm-hmm,
left decent in order, they may
mm-hmm,
take you back, you know. So do
right.
the right things. But I think that
Mm-hmm,
that's key when you are out
mm-hmm.
there working.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what, Deborah, that's what we're talking about tonight, the highest mountain. And the highest mountain may mean that you're gonna have, like you say, you're gonna have to get a few more skills. You know, you're gonna have to be able to ask for help. And you may have to be able to do something a little bit different. But like you said, whatever you want to do, don't quit the job. And I love, because even in our academics and planning that way, all of it is building, you know, your people skill, learning how to, you know, look at things that may not have gone in your favor. And that particular, you know, we've heard, oh, that teacher don't like me and all that kind of stuff. But all of those things help you be able to continue to build. So when you leave school, now you're going into, you know, looking at your career. But it's so many other things we've learned even in school that can help you in your careers. But so the next thing we want to talk about is, of course, family, personal family goals. Like I say, I love all this because it's all personal. And I believe, Deborah, all of these are going to take some personal discipline, having your personal vision, making some personal decisions, you know, and like you say, you talking about career, making the decision. Are you going to walk off the job just because you're upset with somebody? Making a decision and making, and that takes decision making skills and being able to prioritize and
Right.
to manage. And like I said, managing yourself, because that wouldn't be a good thing for you to go walk off a job. And especially if you don't have another one, that makes no sense to me at all.
Good.
But all of that, and we still have to think about personal family goals, because we need family. Family is so important. And when we think about family, family made up of people, so we need people too. But I believe that you know, we have to be intentional about the family members, about our family members, and we have to go out of the way and make efforts with making sure that we're connecting in some kind of way. I think the best way we can set one goal that we can set for our families is make sure we're doing a good job of communicating. Communication is so key with any relationship. And so we want to make sure that we're setting those kind of things where we're being intentional about how we communicate. I think being a great listener, as far as being setting some family goals, to set goals that you're going to be able to be a better listener, you're going to be able to communicate, you're going to be able to you know, one thing I think, what it says, a family that prays together stays together.
Mm.
So making time that, you know, to pray. I laughed at Brady other day because she said how her kids get upset with her because she says she gets up putting these declarations on her. If I don't cover you in the spirit, the devil will get you. You know, she said, you know how hyper Brady is. And her baby looked at her. She said, yeah, but not, mom, not like that. But we have to, we have to be able to know the importance of praying together and having those time of prayer, but also having that time that you sit down and be intentional about eating together, having dinner together. And one of the things that I know my son implemented, no devices at the, you know, no devices at the table, because we'd be surprised how those devices are distractions
Mm.
for us, and it keeps us from having communication. You know, you trying to have a conversation, how your day, you know, did you have any problems today? You know, because heads are down and the phone, everybody's got their heads down and looking at that. But we have to be deliberate about how we're going to make our families come together, because it's so easy to have those little bitty distractions that will keep us from coming together as a family. And we know the enemy certainly wants to do that. And I believe it's important that you develop spiritual goals, and you'll talk about that later, but even physical healthy goals. We're eating together, but are we eating healthy food? Are we just running by and keeping McDonald busy because sometimes we don't sit there and have some good, healthy, wholesome food? And then I think, like I say, learning to be a better listener. For younger people, sometimes it may mean that you don't tease your sibling as much, or have that sibling rival. And if it's there, we have to begin to work on that, because I believe God wants us not to forget that we're human beings, but we ought to be constantly working to look like Him in our family. And so self-control. Don't set the bar so high. Don't put goals down that you're in your family. Y'all not gonna be together, be able to eat at 6 o'clock. Don't make that a goal that you're gonna be able to eat at 6 o'clock. Make goals that are attainable and that you can reach. And one of the things I want to share with my family, we decided that we would have a monthly family Zoom time. And so we wouldn't make the young people really, really mad at us. We said we'd keep it about 20 minutes. So whoever's going to bring the inspirational word, it's a scripture, and you give some inspiration of your devotion or something like that. And so we started it a year ago, and I thank God that and the younger people are like, are we meeting this month? We meeting this month. So, because we don't keep them on there all day. We don't preach to them. We just give a little word, let them go. But then every third month, we do a family bingo night, and we give out about 2 or 3 winners, and we have some instant gift cards, and we send them to them. So those are little things that that we've done to try to help with our family and to try to help them together. But praying together, having morning devotions, having dinner time, and be intentional. If I don't leave with anything else, be intentional about communicating with one another, not talking at each other, but communicating with each other. And one of my other friends said they have a jar, and they put all of their issues and things they want to talk about in a jar. And so when they sit down for family night, they may pull one of them out, so that way they'll be able to discuss. But I think we have to make our family feel like what we talk about is a safe place as well.
Those are awesome. I love those. So, I'm sure that that gave some of the people that are viewing tonight some ideas. Hey, that's neat. I know Agnes and her family, she has a large family, but during the COVID, they were able to stay in contact and everything because they were very intentional about getting on that Zoom and having that time at 3 o'clock on Sunday. So they stay together. So that's great. And I like that you have a game night every 3 months. That's good.
Awesome. We enjoy it. We really enjoy it. And like I said, I was surprised that the younger ones were all excited. So, and we have to reach our generation, it's multi-generation. So we got to find something everybody can enjoy and look forward to.
You have to make sure you can keep them engaged.
Absolutely.
So the next one is your personal financial goals. Personal financial goals. It's not just enough to say, I got some income coming in, so I got some money for my bills. No, it takes a little bit more than that. So when you're talking about those goals and writing it down in this book, do you have a budget? Not everyone has a budget. So you really don't know, you might figure up in your head, I'm going to have more money than I'm going to have bills. But what about the other stuff that you spend for? What about the emergencies or whatever? So if you don't really have a rigid budget, you really don't know where you are. So if you don't have a budget, that's a great thing to develop for 2023. We come up with things, the same thing every year, but that may be something a little different. Come up with a budget so you can see, okay, I see what I have now. So with this, I didn't realize I had that much more than actual bills. So now I can take this money and I can put 50% of it in an emergency fund. I can put and then I'll have 300 left, and I can put some of that in a Christmas fund, and then I can put some over just whatever I want to do with it fund.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you know that you have that extra money, that's good. But you may have been, saying, well, some a little short. I don't understand why. But if you have that budget and you're keeping up with your expenditures, you'll find out why. Maybe you're buying, gifts and you didn't realize you were buying as many gifts for other people as you are. Or you're spending as much going out to eat.
Right.
Because that going out to eat, that can get really expensive. So,
Yes,
not to
indeed.
mention, you got to pay for your meal, and then you want to tip people, and that percentage is going higher and higher.
Every time.
So, uh, you need. I think that's something. I won't say you need to do that, but I think that's something that you can do that will really be helpful for you. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say something?
No, I was going to say, when you talked about that eating out, when you finally sit down and start writing down how much you're spending eating out, sometimes it's mind-boggling if you've never written it down. I never forget. When I was first started working on my second career. I had time to go by McDonald's and get me a hot coffee latte. Girl, one day I realized and I said, wait a minute, this is $5 every day. That's $25 a week. And then I was going out to eat too. I was like, I'm not making any profit here. But I never thought about until one day I just sit down and wrote down that amount of, what I was spending. And it is a good practice to have. And like you were just saying, we got to learn to have emergency funds, because we don't ever know that, as coach tell us, storms are going to happen, and what we're going to do when the storm happens.
All right. Yeah, so good to write it down, because sometimes people, we may have certain habits, but then we allow what other people do to kind of influence us or whatever. Because I know when I was in corporate America, and everybody wanted to go out to eat every day, going out to eat. And I'm like, okay, you know how much money you're spending on food going out? And so I want to take my lunch. Well, you in management, and so I still got to eat, and I can still bring my lunch from home. That's saving money. And they have, different types of meals that are very, very tasty now. It's not like back in the day, because some people still don't cook. So then to them, it's like a hardship to take lunch if you don't have that food at home. But to me, they have some pretty decent meals out there that you can take for lunch. They only cost like $1. Well, hey, this was before COVID, so I don't know. $2.50. I was gonna say you can get a decent meal for like $1.87, $1.90, pasta and a vegetable and all this kind of stuff. But do you don't let other people influence you. It's okay to go out every now and then. If they got a club and they want to go out once a month, that's fine. But if you don't want to spend the money, not that you don't have it, because I had it, but I didn't want to spend it on that.
Right.
So watch your expenditures. Again, this is a personal financial goal. So what is it that you want to do for you? Spend your money for what you want to spend it on. And I said before, I was just gonna make a suggestion, but this one I am gonna say you need to have, and I think Kara said it a few seconds ago, that emergency fund. You need one of those. You never know when an appliance is gonna break down. If you're not buying a car or leasing a car, every other year, you never know when something major is gonna go on with your car. If you don't have an emergency fund for that, what's going to happen? You're going to either have to borrow it from somebody, or you're going to have to pull out a credit card, and you don't want to do either one of those.
Right.
Right. So you want to have that emergency fund sitting over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's like, yeah, it's emergency. So just to be transparent, like last year, we did our taxes. We
Mm-hmm.
both retired, but then we both have extra income because we not just sitting around, we doing stuff. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, y'all got to pay this amount of money. My husband was like, oh, we got to pay that amount of money. I said, okay, so yeah, I got it. So it's like I what it's saying, you
Right,
never
right.
know. So,
Mm-hmm.
what if I didn't have that? It'd be like, oh my goodness, I don't want to go on the payment plan with Uncle Sam because they're gonna add interest and fees. I know. So you just never know.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
Mm-hmm.
young and you have children,
Mm-hmm.
take it from me. You either want to get one of those state saving college funds or you want to save for their college.
Mm-hmm.
College is expensive. You got books, you got tuition, you got other fees. If your kids are go out of state, out of the city, that's additional fees. You will appreciate it so much if you save for their college. Believe me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Believe me.
Absolutely. And if they go out of state, you got to get them home for Christmas and holidays and fly them back. So
All right.
that could be another one. So yeah. But Deborah, these are so good. And I just, like I said, I love in the book where you give everybody an opportunity to at least write down 5 goals. But tonight we're giving not only some suggested goals, but we're just even trying to show ways that you can implement those. Because it's one thing to write the goal down, but it's another thing to take an action step.
Mm-hmm.
And so my next one to talk about is personal health goal. And so, like we were saying in the beginning, everybody on January 1 sign up to go to the gym, right? We get all this weight off of us. But what if your goal was to eat better? You know, one, wait a minute. Maybe it might be just to eat better once a week or one day a week until you kind of get acclimated to that. And because it's so important that we take care of our health, because once our bodies are gone, there's nothing else for us to do. So our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. It's where it resides, and we might want to make sure we represent it well. And sometimes we get so busy and that we'll say, I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to eat right. I don't have time. But like I originally said, time is equal to everybody. And we have to make those efforts to make sure that we are having some healthy goals, because you want to live a long time. And sometimes it's our health that's gotten in the way, that we've done things poorly for our bodies and eaten wrong for years. And we see the result of that when we get older. But, if you start out trying to eat better now, one of my granddaughters don't like any veggies, but for an alternative, she started loving smoothies. So they'll stick a little green stuff in there and let her make it pretty with some blueberries and all like that. But you're still finding a way. So now she loves drinking. She said, I don't like to eat my vegetables. I'd rather drink it. Well, we'll take that too. So, but however we can do it. But one thing I have learned is that we have to make a decision of what kind of relationship we're going to have with food. If food is our issue, so you have to develop a good relationship with food, because sometimes we eat out of emotions, distress, under eating or overeating. But we have to learn to see what is our relationship with food. I always say, find you an exercise that you will enjoy. And I'm an advocate for walking because it is free till it get cold. Then you got to have another alternative. But walking 15 minutes a day, when you start out till you can build up. You don't have to get everything done in 1 week. If you're going to eat better, take 1 day a week that you're going to prepare a meal that you want, that's healthy. You or either you can say, well, 1 day a week I'm not going to go eat out from the restaurants or the fast food. Just little bitty things that we can do to start changing and looking at our health. And so we have to begin to set some excellent goals for our health. But once again, all of us know our bodies. Everybody knows what they can put in place that's practical and personal for them. And you begin to do those things. And I'm an advocate. If you mess up, don't give up. Just start over. Every day is a new day. So start over and don't let anybody get you into comparing yourself to the TV models and all those people. Your body is different. God made us all differently. And you might like asparagus and I don't, but there's another kind of veggie I can get. So make it personal. What can you do to create, I said, or cultivate healthy goals for you personally? What can you do? What are you doing? And before you can even set a goal, I believe you have to look and see where you are. So assess where you are. And then if you see one thing that you can change that one thing, because it's vital for your health. And nobody had this, our own personal book, right, Miss Deborah?
That's right.
Personal book. And so I write that in there, write it down, what you're going to do as far as what you're going to start doing to change stuff. And then every day every day or every week, you can reflect and say, I believe in celebrating. Celebrate yourself. If you miss going to McDonald's one time in a week, I believe you need to celebrate yourself. If you walk 10 minutes, celebrate you. And then one thing sometimes we forget about is, as far as being healthy, get some rest. Rest is so important. So you have to begin to know your body, because if you don't get enough sleep and enough rest, sometimes that's where we become stressed out. And I think you have to know your level of stress, and what's stressing you. And so those are the things that you have to begin to assess about you. We hear this all the time. Study yourself so you will know yourself and know. Don't compare yourself with anyone else. Make these goals personal for you and you alone. And then if you need some help, there's a lot of stuff on internet, a lot of nutritional stuff on internet. Just start researching the things that you think that's going to best fit you, because all of it sometimes is trial and error till we find out what's going to work best for us.
That's right. And we don't try. We're definitely not going to do any better. So at least you have to get out there and try.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The next one we're going to talk about is personal investment goals. Personal investment goals. And you may say, oh, I don't know anything about investments. I don't either. I'm right there with you. However, I do know that, back in the day, good companies normally gave their employees a pension.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say probably, if any, that's going away. They don't do that any longer. So now they may fund, and this is a part of your looking out for your long-term future.
Mm-hmm.
So companies now, many of them will fund a 401k. So that's where you can save. You don't touch that money, and you can select how you, if you want to be conservative or not with the investments that they do with your money, about how long you think you're going to have your money in this 401k. But most companies will contribute up to 3%, 6%. So you are doing yourself a disservice if you say, but I don't want to do that. Yes, you do. If you save 6% and your company go match that, so it's you saving 12% of your pay before tax.
Wow.
It's been invested. That's what your 401k is doing. So then you'll have that for when you retire, because you don't have a pension anymore. So if you don't invest in a 401k or something like that, what are you going to live off when you retire? Because Social Security not going to get it. I can tell you that. Now you get some
No.
Social Security check, but that's not going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to do something else. Or you may hire a financial advisor that can show you how to invest. Some people will do this and they invest themselves. I know a lot of people are investing in real estate and they're making tons of money, but they have to know what they're doing and they have to have the time to do it. That's not just something you just jump out there and say, well, I'm going to do it too. They're making money. No, you need to know what you're doing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So, but you have a Brady Robinson, Nathaniel Butler over in Bahamas, Brady's in the United States, Santana Johnson with Centurion Financial Services. These are, I know, good financial coaches that will help you with your investments. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for years. And they're not trying to get over on you. These are reputable people that I know of. So if you're you're interested in it and you're looking for someone, remember Nathaniel Butler over in the Bahamas. I think he's in Nassau, if I'm not mistaken. And I know in the United States, Brady is in Dallas. Brady Robinson what is it? Robinson Empowerment.
Robinson Empowerment.
And then Santana Johnson with Centurion Financial Services in Jacksonville, Florida. So you want to do something to make your money grow for you. That is very, very important. You want to be secure in your future because, sometimes you find there are so many things that you don't know. It's like when people are placed in these I'll call them assisted living facilities, for lack of better topic. I mean, what it is, I might have it wrong, but I didn't know that. When you go in those places, they want to see all your income that you have, and they use that for you. So your money can go quickly. So you have to be careful. Back in the day, you had $3,000, $5,000 life insurance policy. You thought you had it going on. And that's something else
that don't work anymore.
You need a good life insurance policy as well. Not that you're trying to make anybody rich when you die, but you want to make sure that if you have family and loved ones, people that are depending on you, that they're taken care of.
Right.
You don't have to, go on GoFundMe just to,
Lord,
whatever, So you think about those things, and I think they're all very, very helpful. So that's why that is in this personal planning section of Build Your Best Life, because you're trying to build your best life. You're not trying to build junk. You want to know what's going on in your life for the long haul.
Right.
Well, I hope that.
Well, the last one for me is to talk about relationship goals. And, relationships goals have become something of a social media kind of thing. And it's everywhere you look, it's intertwined with sometimes over the top and kind of bizarre ideas of what relationship should look like. But in the beginning, I said relationship really is about people. And if you're gonna, I think the Bible said, if you're gonna be friendly, you got to present yourself friendly. That's my version of it. But you got to know how to communicate with people. You got to be able to be considerate and compassionate and be willing to be a relationship. But one thing I do know, that once again, in any relationship, people want you to be a listener. Sometimes people don't always want you to always give your opinion. Sometimes people just need good listening skill, or just be able to. I know we don't try to hug too much with COVID, but it's so much power in our touch. So much power to encourage somebody, or be a person who's going to encourage your friends. And we can't have friends if we're not willing to. You talked about the word investment. Well, we have to be willing to invest in others as well as we invest in ourselves. And so we have to make sure that we understand the value of people. I believe friendships and having relationship where you want to make sure people know how valuable they are. You want to validate them in places that encourage them. Not that they necessarily have to have your validation, but it's always good to be able to give a kind word, give a kind, be kind to somebody. And I didn't say this about our family relationship, but still I think it goes for any relationship. We have to learn how to have a spirit of gratitude. Be willing to, be grateful for the people that the Lord had placed in your life, and be able to show some kind of gratitude, be able to show some affection to people, be able to show uh, acceptance, that I accept you. And sometimes we have to learn how to deal in relationship, like in careers. I'm sure, Deborah, you found that to be true. Sometimes everybody's not going to be easy to get along with, but we still are going to have those kind of people in our life. But we can learn how to get along with people. And sometimes it may mean that I have to not express everything I want to say at that moment, but it comes time that I've got to use some self-control and some discipline and be willing to make, we're so good in selfies now, in taking pictures, but I believe we need to not only do selfies, but we need to be making memories memories in relationship, because sometimes those are the things we're going to have to look back over. And we want to make sure that we are making memories with other people. And don't be a person who, like I said, always want to give advice, but you never want to receive advice. And you have to be able, I'm a firm believer, you have to surround yourself with people who are, with the right kind of people. Be able to know what kind of people that you're surrounding yourself with. I think Billy says this all the time. The journey is so much better when we have friends.
Right.
Friends comes from relationships. So we want to make sure that we are knowing how to build relationship. And I think one thing that's really good with in any relationship, we have to know that it is so important that we be honest, we be accountable, we be open, and like I said, we value people and realize that you need people and some people need you. And like I said, life is so much better. So build relationship, cultivate communication, make people feel valuable, spend time with people. That's how we build relationship. And be willing to say yes sometimes, but also sometimes know that you have to know when to say no as well, because that's part of it. You don't have to be a people pleaser, but you can learn to have a relationship with people that's going to be able to kind of have relationships that can be long-term relationship. I've got friends that we've been friends for since high school, and our relationship is not the same as it was in high school, but we still have a relationship. And I think as you grow in your life, your relationship can look differently, but it doesn't mean that we don't have to disconnect. So as far as relationships and what we're talking about tonight, I think if we spend time being grateful in all of these different areas, find time to find a way that you can be grateful for being able to set a goal, being able to write a goal down, being able to have relationship with family members, with friends, having a career. All of those things are so important, because we have to know that in any relationship, we want it to be built on trust. But we also want to know, when people want to know, that sometimes you can empathize with them as well as sympathize with them. So,
Yep. Very good. Yes, those relationships are very, very important. I need you and you need me.
yes,
Yes.
absolutely. We need one another.
Yes. Okay, well, we are on our last one. So again, we hope that these are very, very helpful as we end this year and go into 2023. So this last one, I think it is last, but it is certainly not the least important of our personal goals. And that is your personal spiritual goals. Personal spiritual goals. And again, these are personal. So you have to ask yourself these questions. You know, you can act a certain way in front of people or give that perception, but you know what's inside of you, what you have and what you don't have.
That's
So
right.
sometimes you got to ask yourself some questions. You know,
Yeah.
have you received your salvation? Or do you have a strong tie with your personal belief? Do you have a church home? Are you growing in your current environment? You know, it's one thing to go and sit every Sunday and you just sitting.
Wow.
You're not growing. They may not be teaching. They may be teaching on a level that you're not getting. You may not like that particular style. So are you growing? If you're not growing, why are you there? You know,
Wow.
sometimes things go on in churches and people will say, well, they don't like this and they don't like that and da 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 da. Well, why are you still there? Because that's my church. I'm not gonna let anybody run me away. Okay. Again, this is personal.
It's
Okay.
personal.
Personal. So do you serve in church?
Mm.
Do you give? You know, I'm not gonna be giving so they can buy. No, 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 no. What does the Bible say? Bible doesn't say give based on what your leader is driving or where they live or whatever. He said give 10%. Only 10% is what he says. So again, that's your personal belief, but the word says give 10%. He wants a cheerful giver. He doesn't want you to get it grudgingly. I'm gonna write this, but I don't know why I got. Hey, I'm gonna pay my tithe. Other than that, I'm gonna do it whether if I want to, I give, and if I don't, I don't.
Right, right.
What I believe in, what I don't believe in, but I do believe in my 10%. I see it right there in the word, so I'm gonna do that. You know. So, is there something that you need to change within yourself? Are you okay? You know, and I was telling somebody one day, I said, well, I know I'm not comfortable. I said, it was just like when I was in the world and I went to this dance and I sat there and the whole night I was like this. And I was like, oh my goodness, I got my phone. I called my son. I was like, look, is your brother asleep? Because he was watching his younger brother. And he's like, no, ma'am. I said, no, come get me. I knew I wasn't comfortable. So if I know I wasn't comfortable out there in the world, if I'm in a place where I'm supposed to be getting my spiritual food from,
yes,
I'm not going and comfortable, I'll be feeling it too in the same place. Right. So you gotta do this for yourself. Okay. So if that's not the environment for you, find the right environment. That's why you take these time to pray and meditate and reflect, because you want to do the right thing. You don't want to not make it and say, well, Lord, why I didn't make it? You know, I sat there every Sunday. I listened every Sunday. You ain't grow. You ain't do nothing. You were just sitting there. So, you know, you have to do that. And when you're out, you know, looking for, you know, sometimes, you know, like I say, it's personal, but you have to know what you are seeking in a church environment. Because somebody might say, girl, you ought to come to my church. Ooh, they can, my choir will sing you to heaven. But is that what you want? Oh, my preacher. Oh, my goodness. You talking about getting preach? He can preach and he can sing. You ought to come to my church. Okay, but I have children. I want my children to grow.
Exactly.
Pastor preaching, your choir singing, but what they doing with the children? Okay, do they have a good learning environment for my child that you can train up my child in the way that they know? I know I got to do it too, but they need to be in that spiritual place of my youth.
Right.
what kind of single ministry you got? What kind of young adult ministry you got? What kind of couples ministry do you have? Do you have Bible study? Do you believe in
Right.
missions? Ask all these questions. You don't jump, because they sing a song that you really, really like. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you. Woo! That's my song. Oh, I got to join. And then you get in there. You're like, we ain't gonna do some missions. Oh, we don't do missions.
Don't do no mission.
Well, you don't do mission. What y'all been doing that money I've been putting on my envelope?
For the mission.
So you want to grow. You should want to grow. But this is for you, it's your personal plan. So be intentional about what you are looking for you. You know what you like and what you need. So that's the thing I have to say about that. Not trying to make fun or be funny, but I know what I want and what I need. So I'm sure you know what you want and you need. So I'm not gonna tell you, yeah, come to my church. Find the place that has all those things that you need to make you whole. So that you can grow and your family can grow.
Amen. Someone told me one time when I came to Pathway, our church, and the guy said, well, he said, every church has its own DNA. You got to find the one that connects with your DNA in order for you to be satisfied. And that's what you're just saying. It's got to meet the needs that you have, because every church has something different, right. And you got to be, you got to be satisfied. And like you said, and then I'm a firm believer, some of our spiritual growth is personal, and we have to take some responsibility for spending time in the Word, reading our Bible. Those are things that we have to do for ourselves, and not just depend on somebody else. But you're right, the church, you got to look for that place that's going to feed you when you're there. But you also know you part of our spiritual maturity and growth is that we learn how to read, and study. The Bible says, study to show yourself approved, so you can rightly divide the word of God. So yes, ma'am, I believe that. But yeah, but you gotta make sure, and like you said, Deborah, you can't be giving that 10% and trying to hold it in your pocketbook and trying to put it in the offering plate, and it's where it's supposed to be. Because he certainly don't. That's an old grudge. That's you're grudging and not giving it freely from your heart. So yes, ma'am, we got to. And like you say, this is the last one, but this is probably one of the most important things, because it's everything we do. We got to make sure that we're doing it for Christ, because that's what's going to last is what we do for him. So, yeah. Great conversation.
Yes, I love it. Yep.
Yeah.
So, Carol, tell everyone how they can follow you.
Thank you, Deborah, for allowing me to do that. You can follow me with The Power of Words on Facebook. It's Carol Crockett with The Power of Words on Facebook. You can find me here with Miss Deborah every second Thursday, having this conversation, this coffee and conversation with her. And you can also find me every third month of the year. We're going to be on with our pearls, Chuck's Earls and Pearls. Is that correct, Deborah?
Chuck Pearls and Earls.
Pearls and Earls. Yeah, Pearls and Earls. So boys and the girls, Chucks and Earls and Pearls. But anyway, we come on every third Saturday, every third of the month, not third of the month, every 3 months, right? That we're on. And then my church, you can find me on Monday, Wednesday night. I teach Bible study either a Monday or Wednesday for the Pathway of Life at 8:00 Central Time for the Pathway of Life. So thank you, Miss Deborah.
Oh, no problem. Awesome. And I hope that we covered some information that gave you an aha moment, and that you are ready to take it to another level as you prepare for 2023. We are praying here at Build Your Best Life are praying for great things. So please pray for us as we prepare to expand our reach, to build Your Best Life team. We want to feature exciting events. We want to have more content that exists, assist you in building your best life. So please join us at www.buildyourbestlife.org. I can't talk. www.buildyourbestlife.org. You can read our weekly blog, find out more about Build Your Best Life, check out our calendar of events, and also check out the store, which shows the services that I offer, which is speaking, webinar speaking, coaching, consultation, and you can get an autographed copy of my book, Build Your Best Life. It's a fantastic tool for going the right way. It's a great read, and it's useful for young men, mothers with sons, educators, mentors, parents, preachers, and guess what? It's a lifelong gift that you can give Christmas time. So check it out, but it will be well worth your money spent for that person that you gift this to, because I believe
well worth
it assists them. So please reach out to us this Saturday as we have our conversation with the guys. This Saturday we have Coach Ricardo Miller will be our host. We have Deacon Dan Smith, Elder Joseph Levette, and Dr. Coach Kevin Wilburn, and they will be talking about raising a girl from a man's perspective. Wow. Raising girls from a man's perspective. So you don't want to miss this talk. And also, Carol was talking about our Chucks for Pearls and Earls. This is our quarter to be on the third Saturday. So on the 17th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be on. And you do not want to miss this. It is going to be the sacrificial gift. The sacrificial gift. You don't want to miss it. So please put that on your calendar. That's December 17th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be Coach Carol. You heard that, girl? Coach Carol.
I heard that. I had to look up and see. Is she talking about
me? Minister Carol Crockett, Anita Cummings, Anastasia Smith, and myself. So we're excited about this topic, and I think you will thoroughly enjoy it. So please tune in and join in this with us on the 17th. And again, we appreciate you coming in, and it's always a delight for these coffee chats with my friend and my sister. Yes. We love each other to the moon and back. Absolutely. And this is just a fun time for us. And so while we're having fun, we hope that you are learning some valuable information.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yep. As my friend would say, yes, sister, we down like 4 flat tires anytime.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Tony. Tony Levette says great information and conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tony. Yes. So we will be looking forward to seeing y'all on Saturday morning with a conversation with the guys. They are always fun.
Oh. Yes. And we're going to have fun with this sacrificial gift. You don't want to miss that one.
No, I can't wait.
I'm looking so forward to that. The sacrificial gift. Yes. Yes.
All right. So again, thank you all for tuning in tonight. And remember, as you travel on your road to being a better you, you will run into distractions, pit stops, rough terrain, and detours. Don't let any of those negative aspects of your journey stop you. Though they may slow you down, keep going to be a better you so that you can build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. See you, girl.
Bye. See you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.